Hello, students. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Can you hear me, students? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I think I'm early by 8 minutes. Okay. Um, I have taken already one class, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now I shall continue with the class. Can you see the screen? Can you see my screen on your
Yes, ma'am.
mobile? Okay. What are you looking at? What is seen? What is there on the screen? Can you tell me what is there on the screen? ಏನಿದೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಿದೆ? ಏನಿದೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮೇಲೆ? ಬಂದಿದ್ಯಾ? ಪಾಠ
Lesson 2.
ಬಂದಿದ್ಯಾ? Yeah, lesson 2 by to Leo Tolstoy, alva?
Oh,
So I have given you the introduction. Okay, and I shall read the lesson and I'll go on with the class. Okay. So the title of the lesson is Too Dear. ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ?
yes, ma'am.
What is the meaning of too dear? ಅತಿ ದುಬಾರಿ, very costly ಅಲ್ವಾ? And I have told you the details. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೀ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. What do you think would happen if due to procedural lapses or delay the court have to convert the verdict of death sentence into imprisonment? Last class ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? I explained to you in a very brief manner how the king is a the king becomes you know um, he has to pay for not having the prison and so on ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಸಸ್ ಇಂದ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಏನು he had to pay for it ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ let us proceed with the story. See, I shall read it for you. Near the borders of France and Italy, on the shore of Mediterranean Sea, lies a tiny little kingdom called Monaco. Many a small country town can boast more inhabitants than this kingdom, for there are only about 7,000 of them all told. And if all the wait a second, I think my screen is it's not going to next page. Okay. Okay. If all the land in the kingdom were divided, there would not be an acre for each inhabitant. But in this toy kingdom, there is a real kinglet, and he has a palace, and courtiers, and ministers, and a bishop, and generals, and an army. It is not a large army, only 60 men in all, but still it is an army. There are also taxes in this kingdom as elsewhere. A tax on tobacco and on wine and spirits, and a poll tax. But though the people there drink and smoke as people do in other countries, there are so few of them that the prince would have been hard put to it to feed his courtiers and officials and to keep himself if he had not found a new and a special source of revenue. This special source of revenue comes from a gaming house where people play roulette. People play, and whether they win or lose, the keeper always gets a percentage on the turnover. And out of his profits, he pays a large sum to the prince. The reason he pays so much is that it is the only such gambling establishment left in Europe. Some of the little German sovereigns used to keep gaming houses of the same kind, but some years ago they were forbidden to do so. The reason they were stopped was because these gaming houses did so much harm. A man would come and try his luck. Then he would risk all he had and lose it. Then he would even risk money that did not belong to him and lose that too. And then, in despair, he would down or shoot himself. So the Germans forbade the rulers to make money in this way. But there was no one to stop the Prince of Monaco, and he remained with the monopoly of the business. So now, everyone who wants to gamble goes to Monaco. Whether they win or lose, the prince gains by it. You can't earn stone palaces by honest labor, as the proverb says. And the kinglet of Monaco knows it is a dirty business. But what is he to do? He has to live, and to draw a revenue from drink and from tobacco is also not a nice thing. So he lives and dreams and rakes in the money and holds his court with all the ceremony of a real kinglet. He has his coronation, his levees, he rewards sentences and pardons. And he also has his reviews, councils, laws, and courts of justice, just like any other, but all on a smaller scale. See, students, let us go back to the text. I've already mentioned to it to you that many of you will find many new words. So just concentrate on what new words you have got in this particular lesson. Okay. Have you written down the new words in your exercise notebook? Have I, as I told you in your classwork? Students, can you reply? Has anybody done it? You should do it. If you have not done it, you should do it. Okay. Otherwise, there would be no use of being in the class. Okay. Now let us see. See what the lesson says. Near the borders of France and Italy, on the shore of the Mediterranean Sea. What is the meaning of shore? Shore means on the See, you call bank of the river. Bank of the river andre nadiya dada. See, you take down this word for those of you for whom this word is new. Okay, shore ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ it is the it is beside of a sea. Okay, so beside of a bank is called beside of a river is called bank of the river. Now here it is seashore. You might have heard this word alva, seashore means ಸಮುದ್ರದ ತಟ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಿಯರ್ ದ ಬಾರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟಲಿ ಆನ್ ದ ಶೋರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಟರೇನಿಯನ್ ಸಿ lies a tiny little, see here there is a very small kingdom. Okay, tiny and very small, little. Okay, kingdom. And what is the name of the kingdom? It is Monaco. So it is told to us that many a small country town can boast more inhabitants than this kingdom. Boast is ಹೊಗಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. Okay, so you praise yourself so much. Okay, sometimes unreasonably, so that is called boastfulness. ಕೊಚ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಹಾಗೆ. Okay, so here the kingdom was so small that many country towns, okay, towns ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆ towns many places which you see, it may have small, even the big cities, some big cities may have more inhabitants. What is the meaning of inhabitant andre inhibit ಮಾಡೋರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ವಾಸ ಮಾಡೋರು, ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ವಾಸಿಸೋರು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ the inhabitants were so small that even small country town ಜನ ಹೇಳ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಓ ನಮ್ಮ ಊರು ಆ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಮೊನಾಕೋ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್, ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯ, ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ, ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಮೀನ್ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ದೊಡ್ಡದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದೇರ್ ವರ್ ಸೋ ಲೆಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ the inhabitants, residents in this kingdom. Okay, so ಎಷ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಜನ? Do you know how many kingdoms were, how many people were there? There were only 7,000 people. There were only 7,000 people. Okay, yet it was a kingdom. Why? Because everything in this place was administered like a administration. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ? ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಾಜ್ಯವನ್ನ ಚಲಾಯಿಸೋದು, ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ನ ನಡೆಸೋದು ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್, ಬಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಅ ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಫಾರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು have an army, okay, in other kingdoms, it would be very large army. You can expect people in thousands and thousands, in lakhs and so on. It would be a very large army ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಸೈನ್ಯ, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸೈನ್ಯ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ it was a very small kingdom and the army was also very small. Do you know how many men were there in the army? Can you tell me, any of you? ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Yeah, there were only 60 men, 60 ಜನ. ನಿಮ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ, ಬಟ್ ಈ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ಗೆ ಆರ್ಮಿನೇ ಅಷ್ಟಿತ್ತಂತೆ, ಸೈನ್ಯ. ಆರ್ಮಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸೈನ್ಯ. ಓನ್ಲಿ ದೇರ್ ವರ್ 60 men in the army. See, king is called a kinglet. Okay, because he is a small king. Why? Not in stature, not in height, not in weight, okay, not in size. The size of the kingdom is small, and therefore the king is called kinglet. Kinglet, like island is, a small island is called islet. Okay, hangene king is called kinglet. Okay, and look at the area of the land here. What is the area of the land? ಎಷ್ಟಿತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ? ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಕರೆ ಜಮೀನ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಕರೆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇತ್ತು ಈ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಲಾಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿತ್ತು ಎಷ್ಟಿತ್ತು 7,000 ಅಲ್ವಾ. So it was 7,000. There were only 7,000 inhabitants in this country. ಓಕೆ, 7,000 ಜನ. 7,000ದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಎಕರೆ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡೇ ಮುಗ್ದು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಫಿನಿಶಸ್, ದ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವುಡ್ ಫಿನಿಶ್. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ even the area covered by land is also, kingdom is also very less. Land ಇದೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಸಣ್ಣದಿದೆ. So I'll show you the map. Okay, sometimes afterwards I'll show you the map as well. Okay, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಣ್ಣದಿದೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವೇ ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡಿ. That also will do. Okay, ಇಟಲಿ ಇದೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಆನ್ ದ ಬಾರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್, ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು ಮೊನಾಕೋ? ಆನ್ ದ ಬಾರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟಲಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ನೋಡಿ, ಫ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೊನಾಕೋ ಸಣ್ಣಗಿದೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂಡ್ there were 60 men in the army, 7,000 population ಇತ್ತು. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದ್ರು? Because of this reason, if all the people called it a toy kingdom, toy kingdom ಅಂತ. ಟಾಯ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಆಟ, ಆಟದ ಸಾಮಂತರ. ಕಿಂಗಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದ್ರು? They called him as kinglet. Kinglet. What is the meaning of kinglet? A king whose land area, whose kingdom is very small. Okay, not the size of the king. It is the kingdom. Okay, the reference is to the kingdom. The kingdom is very small. Okay, so there were 60 men in the army. So where does the problem arise? ಆರಾಮೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜನ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು, there is some loophole, there is some disadvantage also. There are so many advantages, of course. Okay, but there is a disadvantage. ಏನು disadvantage? The disadvantage is that the king could not collect enough money from taxation ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಲ್ವಾ. ಸಿ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್, 10 ಜನ ಇದ್ರೆ 10 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. 20 ಇದ್ರೆ 200 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಜನ ಇದ್ದಷ್ಟು ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮೋರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ whenever they purchase something. So what is tax? Tax is the money that you pay to the government for administration ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಆಡಳಿತ ನಡೆಸಲಿ ಅಂತ ಇಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ನಾವು ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ. ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ? How do we give it to the government? Suppose exercise notebook ತಗೊಳ್ತೀರಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ. You turn the back page of the back bind of the notebook. Okay, ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ದಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ರಿಟೇಲ್ ಪ್ರೈಸ್, MRP ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಸಿವ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಸ್. ಸೊ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ a reserved amount. Okay, ishtu anta, on percentage. It will go to the government. So that is called tax. Okay, whenever you purchase something, whenever you do something, you will pay tax. So in kingdom nalli also there were so many types of taxes. Okay, like in any other country or in any other place, you have taxes also here. Here also the government collects taxes. The tax goes to the king. Why? To run administration. Administration andre eno? What's the meaning of administration andre eno? Administration means adalita alva. So here also taxes were paid to the government to run the administration. So a tax on tobacco. Tobacco andre enu? Tambaku alva. And on wine and on spirits, alcohol idella alva. This is a tax on tobacco, on wine. Wine andre rakshara anta heltaralla adu. Spirits, this is all this is alcohol. Okay, ಕುಡುಕರು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, there is tax on tobacco, wine, and spirits, and also there is poll tax. Say, what is poll tax here? Do you know what is poll tax? Say, poll tax anta ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ it is individual tax. ತಲೆ ದಂಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, a tax levied on each individual. A tax levied on each individual. ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಸನ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಇಷ್ಟು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಎಷ್ಟು ತಲೆ ಇದಾವೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಒನ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ will have to give. See, why has he to give the tax? Because he lives in that country, alva. So he occupies land, he breathes air in that country, in that place, so he has to uh, pay tax to the government. Tale danda. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಇದು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ poll tax also. They may ask you in the examination what is poll tax for 1 marks. Okay, so ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ತಲೆ ದಂಡ ಅಥವಾ poll tax, individual tax, a tax levied on each of the individual. ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನಲ್ವಾ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ he lives in that land. So that tax is called poll tax. See, despite of all these taxes, okay, the king would have deficiency. Deficiency andre deficit. Deficit andre ಏನು? ಡಿಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗೋದು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ he would find less money. ಈ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೇನೋ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಸಾಲ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. So it was not enough for him to run administration. So in order to run administration properly, he depended on one particular kind of tax. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ನನ್ನ ಪೆನ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ? Can anybody reply where I am showing? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
There is a special source of revenue, it seems. Revenue ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಕಂದಾಯ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ there is a special source of revenue. ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಆಗಿ ವಿಶೇಷವಾದ ಕಂದಾಯದ ಮೂಲ ಇದ್ದಂತೆ. ಏನದು? The special source of revenue. Can you tell me what it is? ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ. It came from a gaming house. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಗೇಮಿಂಗ್ ಹೌಸ್. ಗೇಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಟ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಹೌಸ್ ಆಟದ ಮನೆಗಳು ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಗೇಮಿಂಗ್ ಹೌಸ್. ಸೊ what is the game played over there? It is called roulette. It is called roulette. The special source of revenue is called roulette. Okay, it came from the gaming houses where they played the game by name roulette. So here people played. Okay, how did they manage to gain money by this roulette? See, when a person enters into the gaming house, what happens? He has to pay some certain amount. Yake table use ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, because he is using that particular house place to play the game ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ವಿನ್ನರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಲೂಸರ್. ಫಾರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಐ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು, ಒಂದು ಸಿನಿಮಾ ನೋಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಹಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ವಾಟ್ ಡು ಯು ಡೂ? ಯು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಅ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಹಾಲ್ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀರಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಹಾಲಿನ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀರಾ. ಯಾಕೆ? Because you are entering into that cinema hall. Similarly here, in order to enter gaming house, people will have to pay money alva. So cinema ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿಲ್ಲದಿದ್ರೆ, oh this film is no good, I shall not pay money, I'll get my money back, I have watched only half film ಅಂತ ದುಡ್ಡು ಇಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಆಗತ್ತಾ? Can you get the money back? No, you can't get the money back alva. That means here also, whether people lost the game or they won the game, doesn't matter whether people are gaining profit or not. Okay, whether they are winning the game or not doesn't matter, but they paid a certain amount of money to the gamekeeper. Okay, for the owner of that gaming house. House. See, for the owner of that particular gaming house, they will have to pay certain amount of money. So, so when they paid money, ಆ ಜನರಿಂದ ಬಂತಲ್ವಾ ದುಡ್ಡು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಬಂತು? ಗೇಮಿಂಗ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಓನರ್ಗೆ ಬಂತು. ಸೊ ವೆನೆವರ್ ಹಿ ಗಾಟ್ ಮನಿ, ವಾಟ್ ಹಿ ಡಸ್, ಆ ಮನಿನಲ್ಲಿ a portion of the money would be given to the king. ಹೇಗೆ? ಯಾಕೆ? ಹೆಂಗೆ? ಯಾಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ? ಯಾಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ? ಗೇಮಿಂಗ್ ಹೌಸ್ನ ಓನರ್ ಕಿಂಗಿಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು? ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್? What is it called? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody tell me? So it is called, it is called, why everybody has gone into silence? Tax alva. Huh? It is called tax alva. So gaming house na owner, the keeper of the gaming house would pay tax to the king. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇದು? ಇಲ್ಲ. Should I explain once more? See here, there are gaming houses in Monaco. Ilva? When the people went to play there, okay, when the people went to play there, ಆಟ ಆಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಏನು ಹೆಸರು, ಗೇಮ್ನ ಹೆಸರೇನು? What's the name of the game? It is called roulette. Roulette is the name of roulette. It is pronounced as roulette, alva? So when they played, they will have to pay money to the game, to the house, gaming house owner, alva? Yes or no? ಯಾಕೆ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಗೇಮಿಂಗ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ, ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಹಂಗೆ. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ a share of the money would go to king. So that is called tax. Okay. So what is the harm in that? Okay. There was some harm. Harm ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? HARM. harm ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, some kind of damage. What damage it did? So let us see what the damage it does. See, roulette, it is not an ordinary game here. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? It is a kind of gambling game. ಗ್ಯಾಂಬಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ಜೂಜಾಡೋದು. Okay, for instance, ಇಸ್ಪಿಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, that is also a kind of juju. See, what happens in the juju or gambling game? You pledge something, ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಫಾರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾನೊಂದು ಪೆನ್ ಇಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನನ್ನ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಪೆನ್ನು, ನಿನ್ನ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಪೆನ್ನು. ಸೊ ಯು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ದ ಪೆನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಹೂ ಎವರ್ ವಿನ್ಸ್ ದ ಗೇಮ್ ವುಡ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಒನ್ ಪೆನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ. ನನ್ನ ಪೆನ್ನು ನನಗೇನೆ, ವಿನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ, ನಿನ್ನ ಪೆನ್ನು ನನಗೇನೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ದ ಗೇಮ್ ವುಡ್ ಗೋ ಓವರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ತರ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇಫ್ ದ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ವಿನ್ಸ್, ಓಕೆ, you are making doubling and your money is doubled and tripled and it goes on multiplying. But imagine if you are a loser, okay, first pen hoಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯು ಗೋ ಆನ್ ಲೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಗ್ಯಾಂಬ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಗೇಮ್. ಗ್ಯಾಂಬ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಗೇಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೇಮ್ ವೇರ್ ಇನ್ ಯು ಟ್ರೈ ಯುವರ್ ಲಕ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅದೃಷ್ಟ ಇದ್ದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಲಾಟ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಲಾಟ್ರಿ ವಿನ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮನಿ, ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಲೂಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಹಂಗೇನೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಗ್ಯಾಂಬ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಗೇಮ್. ಯು ಗ್ಯಾಂಬಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಯೂಶಲಿ people who lost the game. Okay, so imagine some losers. Okay, so one game ಸೋತೋದ್ರು, ಎರಡನೇ ಗೇಮ್ ಸೋತರು, ಮೂರನೇ ಗೇಮ್ ಸೋತರು. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಡಿಕ್ಷನ್. ಗ್ಯಾಮ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಗೇಮ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಡಿಕ್ಷನ್ ತರ. ಎಡಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? You don't leave because it is harmful. You want to play, you want to play. There is some kind of inhibition in your mind ಅಲ್ವಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? You want to continue with the game. Okay, even though you are losing. Okay, lose, you are losing ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನರ್ಥ? ಸೋಲ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಸೋಲೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯು ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ಲೂಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಲೂಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಲೂಸ್ ಟೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನರ್ಥ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲೂಸ್, ಟು ಲೂಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಕಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್, ಹೂ ಪ್ಲೇ, ಮೆನಿ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್ ದೇ ಕಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಸುಯಿಸೈಡ್ ಆಫನ್ ಅಂತೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಸುಯಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ನಿಮ್ ತರ ಪೆನ್ನು, ಬ್ಯಾಗು, ಜಾಮಿಟ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಟ್ಟು ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಪೀಪಲ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಡಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ದಲ್ವಾ. ದೇ ವರ್ ವೆರಿ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಪೀಪಲ್. ದ ಗೇಮ್ ಮೇಡ್ ದಮ್ ಸೋ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ದಟ್ ದೇ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್. ಲೈಕ್ ಓಕೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ದುಡ್ಡು ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಲೂಸ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ಲೆಡ್ಜ್, and then they will pledge almost everything, the land, the property, the money. So ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? When a person loses so much, okay, he will feel desperate ಅಲ್ವಾ? He will feel disappointed. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ? ವಾಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಐ ಡೂ? ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮನಿ ಟು ಗೋ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ಮೈ ಹೋಮ್ ಟು ಪೇ ಫಾರ್ ದ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಈಗ, ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಟಿಕೆಟ್ಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಐ ಡೂ ಫಾರ್ ಫುಡ್? ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮೈ ಮನಿ. ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಐ ಟೆಲ್ ಟು ಮೈ ಕಿಡ್ಸ್? ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಐ ಟೆಲ್ ಟು ಮೈ ವೈಫ್? ಈ ತರ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ, ಮನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ವೇರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಐ ಗೋ? ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮೈ ಹೌಸ್. So this way, the person starts thinking, and this kind of thinking will take him to certain kind of desperate mood. Desperate ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಏನೂ ಬೇಡ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನಾನು ಬದುಕಿ ಏನು ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಅನ್ನೋ ಥರ. ಓಕೆ, ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಆಫ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವಿಟಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಬೈ ದ failure in how is this failure happened? Because of the game ಅಲ್ವಾ? ರೂಲೆ ಆಡಿದ್ರು, ಆಡಿ 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 ಮನೆ ಮಠ ಆಸ್ತಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. And what would they do? Finally? They shot themselves. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು? One fine day, they would feel that I am of no use. Okay, no point in living more. Like that they would think. Okay, like that they would think. And what do? They shoot themselves. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. He would drown or shoot himself. Person who is addicted to this particular game. What's the name of the game? ಯಾವ ಗೇಮ್? ಯಾವ ಆಟ ಇದು? ಎಸ್, ಯಾವ್ದು ಆಟ?
Gambling.
Yeah, what's the name of the game? ಏನು ಹೆಸರೇನು ಈ ಆಟಕ್ಕೆ? ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರಿದೆಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಫಾರ್ 1
Roulette.
marks. ರೂಲೆ, ROULETTE ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಈ ರೂಲೆ ಆಡಿ 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 ಪೀಪಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಲೂಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಮನಿ, ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅಟ್ ದ ಎಂಡ್, in desperation, in disappointment, okay, the not being able to know what to do, they would either drown themselves or shoot themselves. Drown ಆಗೋದಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? See, when you get wet in the rain, you are drenched in rain ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಡ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಆಗೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಡ್ರೆಂಚ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ರೈನ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನರ್ಥ? ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಒದ್ದೆ ಒದ್ದೆ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಡ್ರೆಂಚ್. ಡ್ರೌನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ? ಡ್ರೌನಿಂಗ್ ಏನು? ಮುಳುಗೋದು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಳುಗೋದು. ಐದರ್ ದೇ ವುಡ್ drown themselves ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು they would find a nice source of water bavino, so they may find some river, the well, or some something they may find, and they would see ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹತ್ರ ಇರೋದು, which sea is there near Monaco? Where is Monaco? It is on the shore of, can you tell me it's on the shore of which sea? Which is the sea?
Mediterranean.
Yeah,
Mediterranean.
they may go to, they would run to, I believe, they have easy access to Mediterranean Sea, alva. They may run to Mediterranean Sea. Okay, yeah, oh, ನಾನು ಸೋತೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ, ಈಗೇನು ಬದುಕಿ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅದು ಮುಳುಗ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ their lives. Okay, people lost their lives, and imagine, because of the harm that is done by this particular game rule. Now what happens is, in other parts of Europe, what people do is they tell their rulers. Okay, ruler andre yaru? Kings. Okay, who run the administration. They in fact, they pleaded the rulers. What did they do? See, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Some of the little German sovereigns used to keep gaming houses of the same kind. See, ಜರ್ಮನಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಅದರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುರೋಪ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಥರ ರೂಲೇ ಗೇಮಿಂಗ್ ಹೌಸಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತಂತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಂದರೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್, ದ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಇಸ್, ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್? ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗೋದು ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಹಾರ್ಮ್, ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವೆಂಟ್ ಟು ದೇರ್ ಸಾವರೀನ್ಸ್. ಸಾವರೀನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ? SOVEREIGNS. It's another word for king. Okay,
ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮ.
sovereign and king, totalitarian king. Okay, ಸರ್ವಾಧಿಕಾರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ. So that word is this. King ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಾಜ, ಸಾವರೀನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ವಾಧಿಕಾರಿ, ಟೊಟಾಲಿಟೇರಿಯನ್ ಅಂತ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವರ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ the people went to German sovereigns. Okay, the people in their kingdom. Okay, the people of the kingdom, they went to their rulers, and they told the rulers, please, please, please. They requested. Okay, they stopped the kings to give permission for these gaming houses to play a role. So all the gaming houses were closed. Okay, all the gaming houses in other parts of Europe. Okay, in other parts of Europe they were closed. But this little kinglet, okay, the king of Monaco, okay, nobody would ask him to do anything. Okay, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಯಾರು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ. Nobody told him anything, and therefore this rule was being played. Okay, uh, it went on. Nobody asked him anything, and he used to gain by what is the profit of the running these gaming houses? Why should he give permission? ಏನು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಇತ್ತು ಕಿಂಗಿಗೆ? ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಡೂ ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಮ್ ಯೂಸ್? ಜನ ಆಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮಜಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಜೀವ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ರಾಜಂಗೇನು? ವೈ ಹಿ did not close these particular gaming houses ನ ಯಾಕೆ ಅವನು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿಲ್ಲ? ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್?
Can you think?
ಯಾ, ಯಾಕೆ? ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್? ಅವನಿಗೇನು ಲಾಭ ರಾಜಂಗೆ? ಗೇಮಿಂಗ್ ಹೌಸಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಜನ ಸಾಯ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ See, people they are committing suicide. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದಾರಲ್ವಾ ನಾನು, they are drowning themselves, they are shooting themselves up. Okay, they are committing suicide. ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ? Shooting yourself or drowning ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? It is to commit suicide ಅಲ್ವಾ? So people are taking their own lives. He should have stopped these gaming houses ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಯಾಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ? ಹೇಳಿ ನೋಡೋಣ, ಯಾಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ? Why did not he close these gaming houses? ಯಾಕೆ? Because of the dash. ಏನು ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಇವನ್ಗೆ, ಕಿಂಗ್ಗೆ? What is the profit that he would have? Yes. Rule number
Tax.
50 and 20. Tax. Yeah, he was interested in tax. Why? Because it is a very small kingdom. He has to run the administration. Okay. A kingdom of 7,000 people. Okay. The land area also very small. He has to see, he had everything, it seems. He had coronation, he rewards, he sentences, pardons. Okay, he has councils, laws, and courts of justice, yeah, just like any other kingdom, but all in a very small scale. Okay, ಸಣ್ಣ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲದೂ ಇತ್ತು. ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲದೂ ಇತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವನ್ಗೆ, you, by looking at this prince, you remember this proverb. You cannot earn stone palaces by honest labor. ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕ, ಸಿ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಪ್ಯಾಲೇಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಕಲ್ಲಿನ ಅರಮನೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಕಲ್ಲಿನ ಅರಮನೆ ಆನೆಸ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಆನೆಸ್ಟಿ?
ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕ.
Living in a way wherein you cheat nobody, wherein you don't tell lies, you are true to yourself. That is honest way, alva. On the other hand, what is dishonest way? That you cheat. Okay, if somebody dies, you don't care. You want money, you want power, you want everything. So that is dishonest. So here the king is dishonest. Okay, why the king is dishonest? Because he collects tax even when people die. Even people are dying. Other parts of Europe, they have closed gaming houses. But this king is not interested in closing the gaming houses. So, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ, you cannot earn stone palaces. See, if you are earning something by honesty, always if you are honest, you cannot win a palace. Palace ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ? What is the meaning of palace?
ಅರಮನೆ.
ಅರಮನೆ.
ಎಸ್, ಅರಮನೆ ಕಟ್ಟೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಅರ್ನ್, ಅರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದುಡಿಯೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ದುಡಿದು ಅರಮನೆ ಕಟ್ಟೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾವರ್ಬ್ ಸೇಸ್. ಪ್ರಾವರ್ಬ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನುಡಿಕಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್. ಓಕೆ, ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ, ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕವಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಅರ್ನ್ palace, you cannot build a palace, you cannot earn a stone palace by your honest labor ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So here you see, kinglet of Monaco knows it is a dirty business, but what is he to do? He has to live, and to draw a revenue from drink and from tobacco is also not nice thing. See, alcohol ಇಂದನೂ ಸಾಯ್ತಾರಪ್ಪ ಜನ, ತಂಬಾಕು ಇಂದನೂ ಸಾಯ್ತಾರೆ. ಡ್ರಿಂಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್, ಡ್ರಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್, ನಾಟ್ ಕಾಫಿ, ಟೀ ಆರ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಆರ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟೊಬ್ಯಾಕೋ. ತಂಬಾಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಗಾರ್, ಬೀಡಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೊಬ್ಯಾಕೋ ಹಿಯರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈವನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ this is also bad. Okay, but it is also not nice thing. It is also not a nice thing. ಒಳ್ಳೆದೇನು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದೊಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ದೇ ಡ್ರಾ ರೆವೆನ್ಯೂ. ರೆವೆನ್ಯೂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂದಾಯ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೀಸ್ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್, ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು kinglet of Monaco, his logic, even earning the stone palace by uh, by playing roulette. Roulette is a gambling game, alva? By gambling is also not wrong, not much wrong. Okay, so there is a logic forwarded for us. Okay, so jana alcohol ಕುಡ್ದು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕುಡಿಸಿ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಟೊಬ್ಯಾಕೊ ಇದನ್ನು ಕೆಟ್ಟದಲ್ವಾ, ಹಂಗೇನೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೆಟ್ಟದು. ಸೊ he knew, okay, it is a dirty business. Dirty ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ? ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೋ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಡರ್ಟಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಯಾ, ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್. ಡರ್ಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಕೊಳಕು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಕೊಳಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೊಳಕು ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್? ಡಿಸಾನೆಸ್ಟ್ ವೇ ಅಂತ. ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಡರ್ಟಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಡಿಸಾನೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. ನ್ಯಾಯಯುತವಾಗಿ ಸಂಪಾದಿಸೋದು ಅಲ್ಲ. You cheat people. Okay, you draw them near the suicide, then you earn. So this is also not a nice thing. This is also wrong. So what he is to do? He is as usual. He does everything. He has his coronation. He levies, rewards, sentences ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಆರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ದು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕೊಲೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಸಿ ಆ ದಂಡ ಕೊಡಿ ಈ ದಂಡ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಡೆತ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೃತ್ಯುದಂಡ. ಓಕೆ, ರಿವಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಕೊಡೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಖುಷಿ ಆದಾಗ ರಾಜ ರಿವಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದ. ಸೊ ಲೆವೀಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೆವಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಪಾರ್ಡನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಷಮಿಸೋದು, ಕ್ಷಮೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ ಅದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇತ್ತು ಇವನ ಹತ್ರ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿ ವೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ with his administration. So in the next class we shall see what happens, why is Leo Tolstoy is telling about this small kingdom, this kinglet and this play rule, how the story develops. We shall see in the next class. Okay students, thank you all the students for participation. So
Thank
could you
you.
understand? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಪಾಠ? ಪಾಠ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Thank you. ಏನಾದ್ರು ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ you can ask me in the next class. Okay, I'll finish for the day. Finish for the day. Okay, ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ. Okay, thank you everybody.